Remember when the direct version of mutual funds was launched some time ago, and everybody thought that it would completely put agents out of business entirely. That hasn't happened. If you look at the numbers now, direct plans have just not taken off. We're going to try and find out why. Because if you can save, a few percent points on that, on choosing a direct plan, that basically means you increase your return. Dhirendra is joining us now. He's been analyzing the numbers. Dhirendra, direct plans were launched in Jan last year, allowing investors an opportunity to buy directly from the AMC without using a distributor. But they've really failed to hit a chord with equity investors. Only 8,000 crore rupees of equity asset base has come in from the direct plan. And if we look at the entire base, it's about 2 lakh crore rupees. Tell us why it hasn't worked.
No, I would not think that, direct plans have not worked, because if you look at it, mutual fund industry is, if we think that the mutual fund industry started in 1993, then it's a 20-year-old industry. It has accumulated 2 lakh crore in the last 20 years, and of which in just 1.5 years, 4% of that is through direct investors. And that too, has been invested directly by individual investors, and that too in a time when most of the investors were not investing in mutual funds. So if you look at it, in last 1.5 years, only last 6 months have been a phase where investors are putting money in equity funds. Before that, investors were only taking their money out from equity funds. So in that context, we should look at this 8,000 crore in the context of how much money has come into mutual funds. And I would say that even if it is not significant, it is not insignificant either. I think if net inflows in mutual fund is about 20,000 crore, then 8,000 of that has come in direct plans. I think it is sizable. But I would cite one other example, one other reason why it has not been understood, or why it could have been a little more successful. Right now, fund companies have not been able to differentiate the cost of the direct plan and the regular plans. Today, I clearly see that there is only a 50 basis point difference, and most investors are unable to appreciate this difference. My understanding is that the cost of intermediation, which is factored into the pricing, should be more, and it should reflect more fairly in the pricing of the direct plan. And other is that in a little longer period, investors will be able to clearly understand the cost difference and how it is translating into superior returns for themselves, and there will be a natural pull. But at the same time, mutual fund is still in India at a stage where it will be bought, it will not be sold. It is being sold, it is not being bought. So from that standpoint, I think there is still a case that even after direct plan succeeds, there will be large number of investors who will still not be coming through direct plans. There will be intermediaries who will be selling mutual funds, and that will remain the dominant distribution channel.
Well, Dhirendra, do you recommend that retail investors who are able to do their own research and choose their plans use the direct option? Will it increase our returns?
Yes, absolutely. If an investor is able to take a decision himself, if he is able to choose his investment, if he is able to estimate his own risk tolerance in the time frame, if you are thoughtful enough and you have the understanding, you should certainly be choosing the direct plan. It will enhance your return. The difference in future, of course the current difference is just about 0.5% in terms of expense, but the compounding effect of that will be quite sizable over a period of time. If you are investing for next 5 year, 10 year, 15 year, this 0.5% difference will translate into substantial difference in your total accumulation.
All right, there's the last question. If we are going to choose our own mutual funds and use the direct option, what should we keep in mind? Give us a checklist.
No, direct plan, when choosing the direct option, you have to make sure that you can decide things on your own, and you can choose funds confidently. You can decide on where you want to invest and what is your time frame. Do your own estimation of your time frame. So if you can be a realistic investor and a sensible investor on your own, then by all means. But if you think that you can't do all that, it is not worthwhile. Just trying to save some cost, you will be deprived of this huge opportunity. So you decide. If you need somebody's help, if you need somebody's hand holding for sake of confidence or for sake to get started, if you will not procrastinate on your own, go for a direct plan. If you need all those help, certainly go to an intermediary. He will help you. They play a role. Advisors do play a role, and it's a very important role. But if you think you don't need an advisor, then by all means go on your own.
All right, Dhirendra, many thanks for joining us and answering our questions.